Hello, hello. How are you doing today? I actually just came off of a live that I did over on TikTok for my makeup. So if you're really interested in watching me do a lot of beauty tutorials, I go live there quite often. And I may start doing more beauty lives over here. But I'm just sort of kind of like dipping a toe into doing what people enjoy watching in terms of lives over here. But anyway, for this video, I have not done a fails video. I'm starting to do them some more seasonal now. So instead of like monthly, I do the empties, right? And then talk about what products I used up over the month. But it seems like beauty fails, I'll buy different things and try them out. And then it takes maybe like 2 to 3 months to kind of see, did I really like how these products performed, or did I not like, am I not a fan, or would I wouldn't buy them again. So I've actually been building up a little pile over here on my beauty desk, and want to go over certain things. And sometimes there are things that I really like the way things perform, but I'm not a fan of how they smell. And because I'm my skin's very sensitive now, my eyes are very sensitive now. So, and then sometimes there are things that are they just didn't hold up well over time, or sometimes they just right off the bat did not perform well, for whatever reason, whether it's the consistency. Now, these are just my opinions. You might love these products. You may just think these products are the best. You may think that, this is, wonderful, and these products are wonderful, and that's fine too. We all have our opinions, and we all have different skin, and we all have different, different tastes and what we're looking for in terms of beauty, and in terms of what we're experiencing, what we want our beauty experience to be. So, okay. Alrighty. So, first things first, I bought these palettes at Dollar Tree. I was very excited to get them. But, first one I got was the smoky browns, and they're, overall for $1.25, they're excellent. It's okay. It's okay. There are other brands that I've noticed they've started to sell other brands, or some that are even called their like house brands, but the texture is a little bit better in this other one, this La Mercerie, and this other LA Colors they have, and the LA Ink sometimes they have. But this one doesn't even have a brand. It's just totally generic, and didn't even have, I think they may have had some, product information on the actual, plastic thing that it came in. They come in like a, card like that. I'm kind of on the fence with these. In some ways, I think they're very good for $1.25 in terms of value, but in other ways, I feel like they could be better in others. And I would say texture-wise, and there some, and I have, I've talked about this before, I have a very tough time with shimmer shadows especially, and some of these might not, some will look like obviously like a shimmer, and some will look matte, but then when you actually put it on, it actually has whatever ingredient that's also in the shimmers that bothers me. Okay, so I will avoid a shimmer like this, putting it close to my eye, but I might put one of the darker ones close to my eye, because that's it, and it doesn't look like it has a shimmer. But and like, let's see, there's two darks right here. One has a little shimmer, and the other one doesn't. Well, it's very easy when you're in a hurry to get mixed up, and then I end up putting the one with the shimmer, the one in place of the one I should be using, and I end up with an eye irritation that day. This one I think I use the most, because, for obvious reason, because I can use these on brows, I can use this as a liner, I can use this as bronzer and highlighter and all that stuff. But I felt that there's just so many better alternatives. Like, it can be somewhat crumbly. But I may hang on to these because these are like the kind of thing, like if we're like gonna be away for like a weekend, or I'm spending the night at like a relative's house and with my husband, and I don't want to pack a whole lot of my big palettes that are really you know, take up too much space in a suitcase or a makeup bag or something. You know, I can just throw this in, and you know, this one, it was a good one because it had the blush. There was none of these. This one was all mattes, and this one was mattes and shimmers, and this one, none of them that I could find with this had a gold shimmer. That's another reason why I don't run to it as much, because if there had been this shade range plus a gold, or had one of these been a gold, because I use the gold shimmer a lot here for you know, for doing highlights, and the pink was just okay, you know, and then this one was almost like, it was cool, all cool, but there wasn't like any, because I sometimes I like to mix up my warms and cools, so it wasn't like I could use one palette for everything. This, I did do a one palette challenge where I did do this for everything, but on a day-to-day basis, it wasn't like this one could, if one of these had been a gold, I could have used this whole thing, or if one of these had been a gold, I could use this whole thing all the time or more often, or if one of these had at least some warmer shades in here. So I felt like, you know, each one, it's good for what it is, but I may hang on to it just to have like kind of like as a backup palette, you know, sort of like to have as backups. If something breaks, if I have a palette that's warm like this that breaks, or if I'm, you know, if I need something, the one that I keep in my purse breaks, and or gets too old or whatever, and I want to, you know, sure, I can keep this one of them in my purse, or a couple ones in my purse, and in my touch-up bag, and then, you know, it's fine, because then if it gets tossed or breaks or whatever, it's not a big loss in terms of investment, you know. That's a big thing, is because sometimes, you know, purse falls and ground, and if you've got high-end makeup in it, it's ruined, you know. I learned that the hard way, so I tend to keep, you know, less expensive, you know, like, or stuff that I'm just sort of okay with, but I'm not like, not my favorite for every day. They're just okay to have use my purse, my touch-up bag, but not like, you know, sort of things I'm phasing on the way out. So anyway, that's where I feel like this is more like C minus in terms overall, but it's not bad, but it's not the greatest. But you know, for $1.25, sometimes you get what you need, and sometimes if you're just getting into makeup and you're wanting something to practice with and learn with, and then as you move on to better quality, then you can, you know, you know what you're looking for, and you know what looks you're trying to achieve. So so yeah, so that's how I feel about those. Okay. Now this I just bought recently, and this, everybody's into these blushes that are these, you know, pigments, like you just do a few dots and then blend it. Rare Beauty has one, Charlotte Tilbury has one. This is kind of like a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury. My main thing is the smell. The smell is god awful. And this was a Dollar Tree as well. This is with the B color. This was horrific. This is a horrific chemical smell. I feel like it, you see how it blends out. It's really gorgeous color. I would use it as a lip color. Or here, I'm not, you know, it's nice that it's not super creamy. It's not oily, greasy. Texture-wise, it's fantastic. You could use it as a lip color. I love the color. It's stunning. Can't get past the smell. I put it on my lips as a lip color. It was absolutely horrific. And also, I didn't like the way it felt. So this is a pure fail, and it's such a shame. It is a shame because it's a stunning color, and it's good performance. But whatever chemicals they are using, Dollar Tree needs to get it together and not have that stinky smell. Okay, now here's another LA Colors. I'm really enjoying a lot of LA Colors products. Okay, it's a blue liner. I really like a blue liner. I like to do a blue liner in the inner corner or in inner rim, and sometimes I like to do it here and then black out here. but the performance level of this, I mean, it's already, just trying to draw it, it's crumbled. And it's not, look at it, it's not consistent. I have to do a lot to get it to be, to get color. You know, I'm used to holding something up and just barely touching it and having it be like good color performance. This, I really have to work at it. If I just lightly touch it, it's just almost bare. And that's not what I need. I like a good, deep, deep liner that does what it's supposed to do. So this is a fail. And it's a shame because I just bought it. So, okay. So another thing is from Glam. Okay, Glam. I've had a mixed reviews with Glam too. It's one of those things. Now there's some other LA colors. This LA color bronzer I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite bronzer. And I actually just bought a bunch of LA color not lipstick, mascaras. 4 different mascaras I'm going to do some reviews on and product compare. But this was such a disappointment. I saw this in the on their website, and maybe I'll try it with this little liner. Well, maybe no. This was supposed to be a shadow, and it is a cream shadow, and you put it on, and well, maybe it's melted a little bit. It seems a little bit better, but it's like, look at this. It's already just me moving it around with this brush. It doesn't set. It doesn't really set well. It's pigment, but it's just too creamy. Look at that smear. So yeah, I thought, okay, maybe I'll just play around with it a little bit, but no, this is instant creasing. Okay, even if you put it down here, it'll go into small, fine lines. And if you put on the lid as color, because I thought this was really gorgeous. But this reminds me of sticks that we had 40 years ago, okay, that did not perform well. And this has obviously not improved. And then look at this, just what I did a minute ago. It would just, the pressure of your eye opening and closing, you're going to get a crease within an hour. So it's a shame because this would be a gorgeous, I mean, imagine the electricity of like this deep purple behind me. If I were to do like this color blue with purple and stuff, it could really do some amazing looks with it. But if it doesn't perform well, you can't get it you can't get it to work, and I can't get it to do what I was buying it for. So, and then it's like, well, what's the point? So anyway, so that, it's a shame because I had such high hopes for it. It really did. And then I also have blue mascara. I was gonna do a whole kind of blue kind of look that I haven't done in a long time. I've done that look years ago, a few years back. When they had a day that was like lighted up blue day for autism, and I did a blue look, and but I have not been able to find the blues that that would be if it was the right consistency and the right and able to perform the right way, then I could really do some cool looks. But if I can't find the right thing, it's not going to work. And even if it was a powder, I could at least wet down that powder and be able to kind of use it as a liner. But okay, so here's another one. Let's do some, okay, Essence. Okay, I had high hopes. This is a lip tint, and you could also use it as a cheek tint. This this reminds me of the old school lip stains and cheek stains that I was never a fan of. And I was hoping, I'd seen some article or something online about this, people saying, oh, this is really great. This is that super sheer kind of lip stain that is very soft. This is for the soft girlies who just want a little hint of color, okay? The soft girlies who want a little bit of sheerness to kind of blend out, and the soft girlies who just want a little bit of a sheer color, a sheer little wash. Okay, that's fine. That's not what I'm looking for. I was hoping, when I saw how dark it was, I was hoping that this would be a super, super deep, intense, be the equivalent of I've been looking for this. This was an Avon product, and when I first signed up for Avon 6 years ago, this is amazing. This is lip stain in a pen with 2 different things, and we had it for about 2 years, and then they got rid of it. Okay, like a lot of things, things are cyclical. Beauty is cyclical. There's a bigger end on this end, and see, look at how deep the pigmentation is here. Okay, even though it's a different color. But once it's dry, it's almost like a pen. It doesn't smear, it doesn't anything. With this, it stays wet for a long time. Look at that. Okay, it's already smeared. And the more, and so then if you're like eating or drinking, it's gonna fade. And it's not bad, but it's nowhere near of the pigmentation of something that's almost like a marker. Okay, and this is a lip stain pen, which I have been looking for this consistency of a product. Lip stain pen or lip stain is that has the same, because I would line my lips with it or even just use it all over as a lip color. And if I'm out somewhere and with a bunch of people eating, drinking, whatever, talking, it wouldn't come off. It would be fantastic. This, of course, it's not to say that this would, it does last, but it's not the color. See, look at how dark this is. This looks like a super, super dark burgundy, but when you actually put it on, you can actually see this looks like it should be this color, but it's actually not. It's actually like this hot pink color. So that itself, is wrong. This is by Essence, and Essence products I usually like, but there, to me that's a big. This should be this color, right? And the bottle should be this color, and then if it's going to be this color, it should come out and actually be like a dark, or like the color of my t-shirt, dark burgundy, because that's what we see here. So this is a thing, I try to explain this. This is a fault of research and development. I have a certificate, not in addition to, sorry, I have the windows open here and I'm starting to have allergic reaction to the outdoor and fresh air. But in addition to my cosmetology license, I have a certificate from Fashion Institute of Technology. And 5 years ago, I took a course and I got my certificate. It was an online course. But a course is what, I finished the course and I have a certificate on beauty essentials. And part of the thing we learned in beauty essentials was, R&D, research and development. But this is not just research and development, it's also marketing and packaging, because how many times is from a consumer point of view, are you buying something with a package with one type of thing? To me, do I go buy this color? Do I go buy this color? Because this was an online purchase, and a lot of product beauty companies go online, are being sold online, and as consumers, we're trusting the packaging, right? So it's a big hassle when you trust the packaging, but the packaging is completely different than what it actually is and how it actually performs. Okay, so another product from LA Colors, which is a shame because I really like a lot of their things. I'm not picking on them, but they need to step this up. So see how this is almost like kind of like my nail polish. It looks like a pink pearl, okay? Now, whereas my eyeshadow, I like to be more mattes and less shimmers, and this is, I like my lip colors like to go when you to put a matte color, deep color first, and then I like to put a lighter shimmer on top. Okay, so I expected this to actually be what it looked like. Okay, one would think, and when you pull it out, you sort of have it, but what is it? It is just more of a clear. You don't even see the color hardly at all. I mean, God knows how many layers would I have to put on to actually, but it's still, it is not, it has a pale, it is a pale, faint pink. It's more gloss and a little bit of shimmer, but does it look like this? No. Okay. This is more like a wet gloss, and not a pure, I wanted it to look like exactly like this. So here is, so it's almost, and do I see, I don't even see the applicator moving here. So it's almost as if this itself has a certain color, and it's sort of like a hint of that idea, but it is more like a pale pink clear gloss, and I don't really see this level of shimmer. When you look at this, you expect it to be, this you can't even, this is an old NYX, but I'm just going to show you. You expect it to be like that. Okay, this is what I was expecting. And you see the difference between this and that? Okay, this is a NYX product that has long been discontinued, but I've hung on to it because it's one of my favorite lip glosses of all time. And you can see the difference, okay? See how pale and sheer this is, and this obviously has more color put out. But when you look at this, see, that would match. This does not, okay? So this is a fail because this did not live up to this expectation. So this is the kind of thing that, this is about like, if I do a beauty haul and let's say I buy 10 things and three are fails, 7 are okay. There's 7 things are okay, but, and what else do I have here? Okay. And then this is the FMG Glimmer. This is something that I sell on my website. It's not bad. It's okay. But it has much more of a shimmer to it than I expected it to be. I had been waiting for the Avon to come out with a powder blush for the longest time. We had cream blushes, we had liquid blushes, we had the kind that were in a sponge. We had a million things. And I would have to use other things as blush because we didn't have this, and I couldn't wait for it to come out. And then when it came out, it's okay, and I love the size, and there was no problem with it. You can go online, you can see all the things, and I don't know if the other shades have a slight shimmer as well. They all have a little bit of this look, but I like more of a pure color, and if I want to add shimmer, I'll add shimmer, but there was nothing that said that this was a shimmer. So that in and of itself. So I would go to it and use it, but I after a while, at one point I was even trying to take it out to put it in a different container, and I couldn't do it, so I ended up making holes in it, and I was just like, you know what, this isn't going to work. I'm keeping it only to show clients, but I even haven't had, I just have not been promoting as much because I felt it was kind of a fail, Okay, so here is one of the most expensive things expensive fails and my biggest complaint about the beauty industry right now is fragrances, okay? Fragrances especially, look at this. This is Prada, okay? High-end fragrances now are a big fail. Why? They are a big fail because they do not last the way they used to. I don't know if, in terms of the FDA, that they had to take out whatever made them stay fresh for a long time. And I'm not talking about if you put it on, it stays fresh throughout the course of a day. I'm talking about going bad. Older perfumes, even my first product candy, okay, I think this is the second one. I had my husband, bought this for me, these for me, like, for my birthday. Like, say, 10, 12 years ago, I fell in love with product candy, asked him for a bottle for my birthday or anniversary or something. He gave it to me. That bottle lasted a long time. The product stayed fresh, smelling accurate to what it smelled like from the day one, okay? Then I used it up, and then I asked for another one. This is one of my all-time fragrant perfumes, but I think I got this 2020 or 2021. No, 2020. I had it in 2020 because when in that Beauty Essentials course that I was taking, I took it at the height of the pandemic because I was home. I was able to finish it. I signed up for it in 2019. I finished it in 2020. And I had this bottle because you were supposed to design like your favorite bottle perfume, and I kind of used this as a base, and then I created some other things around it. Because at that time this was my favorite. Okay, so I know I had it in 2020 because I was using this as a base design, and I added some, I talked about it in this. It was a project. It was one of the projects we did. So, and I liked the way this was, and the way the sprayers right here. It was almost like a little hat. That was cool. So I added like some feathers to it. And I added some other things and kind of did my own little twist. Right, that was a project. So 5 years later, I go to spray. Now, I know people are going to be like, well, it's not supposed to. Well, you know what? Back in the day, you bought my grandmother had a bottle of Chanel No. 5 that she got in like the 1950s. And in the mid-70s, it still smelled like Chanel No. 5, okay? Those older products, those older formulas were made, if people were paying good money for things, right? It's just like food. How like you buy a pizza that's like a big square and you open it up and the pizza is like half the size it used to be inside the box. But before it used to be as big around as the box, you know what I mean? Okay, so same kind of thing with this. This is they know that if it doesn't last, you're going to have to replace it. Okay, so or just like cars being built to last, and then people weren't buying as many cars. It's the same kind of thing. What is it? Obsolete? What is there's a phrase for it, but I can't think of it. But anyway, this smells nasty. 5 years later, I went to put that on the other day, and I was nauseous the whole day long. Smelling myself, it smelled like the worst. It smelled like puke and baby powder mixed together. It did not smell like what product candy is supposed to smell like, and it's shocking. It's just shocking because this is an $80-$90 bottle of perfume, that it shouldn't be like that, and I would buy perfume and have it last for years, and you could count on it, like, oh, and I don't wear it that often because I have other, I've talked about other fragrances that I wear. I talk about the Bath and Body Works, some of those body sprays. I talk about a lot of things. I talk about a lot of other Avon fragrances that we have that are new, that are really great, that I really enjoy. None of them go bad in the same way that my high-end expensive fragrances are going bad. And that's, to me, that's like a huge, huge ripoff. And I have a bone to pick. This is a big bone to pick with Prada and the manufacturing of it, and the other high-end fragrances. I used to wear a lot of the celebrity colognes, all the J-Lo's. I used to collect all the J-Lo glow and all the J-Lo, and then I had all the Britneys, and I had during the Ed Hardy era, I had all the Ed Hardys, and I even bought Patrick the Ed Hardy's, and although it's coming back. Those who didn't thought it was all cheesy, whatever, it'll never come back. It's coming back, and a lot of people love those fragrances. So, there's a funny story about that. I was shopping to buy Patrick an Ed Hardy fragrance, and I was in Macy's, and it happened to be a day where one of those few times where I wasn't fully made up and my hair's in a messy bun, and I had my big, puffy coat on, and I looked, and I had sneakers on, because the weather was bad, and just random kind of workout pants or whatever. So I was not looking my best, and and I was in the guys department, and I guess I was looking at that Hardy and this young, cute sales person who was a female, and I would say sales girl, but that sounds old-fashioned, but a young salesperson who happens to be female comes up and says to me, "Are you shopping for a younger guy?" and And I just wanted to die laughing because I felt like saying, honey, you only knew the half of it. Oh, because I had just gone off of, my year of crazy dating a lot of younger, and then meeting Patrick, who's younger, and, and so yeah, it was, but I had been shopping for younger guys, and then met one, and then found one, and, and now I was actually shopping for him. So it was funny, and but it was just, it was hilarious, and I guess I looked mom-ish in that mode, and I was 40. I guess we'd been dating about a year, so it was 42, so 2008, around that time. So it already was so popular. So anyway, it was just kind of funny. So anyway, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked at how rancid this has gone, and I hate to throw it out, but it's going in the trash. Okay, last but not least, my favorite mascara lately has been the Lash Blast Clean Topia by CoverGirl, okay, mascara. And this is wonderful. You can see, by the edges. I've been wearing it. You wear a lot of mascara, so I go through it a lot every month, and I've been, buying other ones just to try them out and test out. Okay, so this is the waterproof version. I actually love these two colors. They're fabulous. Okay. This is wonderful. This is the waterproof. I thought this, by being waterproof, would be just like this and would give me everything I need performance-wise, and still and give me be waterproof at the same time. Now, I have never had this experience before, and maybe this is something new. Completely different formula. Completely different formula. Now, it's not to say, yes, it's waterproof, and it might be great mascara for somebody, but it did not match the thickness and build-up ability, or all the things that I like need my mascara to do that this one did, and this was nowhere near the same. My lashes were more like, it did that very, I know some people love that very thin lash lengthen, but they're very thin, and it means I have to sit for longer and longer and do so much more to get it to do, with, like, say 5 strokes, 5 passes. With this one, I would have to do 10 to 15 with this to get it to somewhat look what 5 passes with this will do. Okay, it's not the same. So that's it. That's and to me, I'm like, okay, if somebody likes that look, they like the longer, thinner look, then this is the right thing for them. But this is wrong for me. So I was hoping they would give me what this does in just a waterproof formula. For a long time, back in the, I can remember, okay, I had regular and I had waterproof, and they were almost interchangeable. Not any, at least not with this one. Okay, so that's my breakdown of, beauty fails for spring 2025. If you have any beauty fails or product fails that you bought where you thought, no, this is going to do this, and it did that, it didn't do what they were supposed to do or what you needed to do, let me know. Oh, also, LA Colors. I have another LA Color powder somewhere here that's wonderful. But this one, once again, whenever I used it, I would have my eye. And this, I really love this. It's just such a shame. I love the color. I love the texture. But this also had a chemical smell. And when I used it, as my face powder, my eyes would tear up within 5 minutes of using this. My eyes, especially this eye, tearing up all day, and it's like a little irritation where I'm constantly like, I'm gonna rub this eye, and then like I'm cooking or something, and I'll have to like grab a tissue, hold it up, wipe my eye, in the car, hold like this, get somewhere, eye watering the whole time I'm in the grocery store. I mean, I've been going through it with a lot of things with products, so. So yeah, so that's another one. But there's other ones that I've used. Like I said, there's other ones I've used by them that have been great. And there's other products on there's that I just love. This blush, fantastic. That it's like you know, a mixed bag. And I found that with a lot of other brands. I found that with L'Oreal. I found that with Revlon. I found that with, it seems to me, I found that with, you know, Face Shop or you know, a lot of them, you name it. I've tried them. CoverGirl, you know, Lancome. It could be high end, very expensive. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Wet and Wild. Some are good, some bad. You know, it's yeah, I know. It's so anyway, if you yeah, let me know if you've had any beauty fails and drop in comments or just you know, give me some feedback on what else like oh this eye pencil boy. This is one of my favorite eye pencils. One of my favorite eye pencils by LA Colors right here. It's the gel. It's the black gel. Okay, this is what I was looking for. I need to find this in blue. And I don't know if they make this in blue, but see, this is what I was looking for in this, and have it be as, it is deep and as intense. That's what I'm looking for. And see how faded, this to me looks faded. Even though it's, yes, it's there. It's not to say it's not there, but it's faded. I bought a bunch of these from Temu just to try them out. These are a little, you know, it's okay, but it doesn't glide as nice as this one, as that LA Colors. So some are great. You just don't know until you buy the brand or you try different things. Some Essence things I think are wonderful. Some Essence things didn't perform well for me. So, you know. It's just a mixed bag, and the same thing with, you know, Avon brand things is the same thing. So anyway, you know, the thing that gets me is stores used to have a return policy. It didn't matter if they were opened or not. CVS used to have a thing that if you opened a thing of mascara and you used it and it had a bad smell or it didn't perform, you could take it back to the store and you could say, sorry, this is one, and they gave people their money back. But it happened too much because people's skin is different. Something that might be great on my skin might break somebody else out. Somebody else loved might dry my skin out. Whatever. Okay, so they found it was too. It happened. They were losing money. But it's a shame because with things like this, it's, you know, you are spending money. And that's why lately I've gone to such very lower end on the spectrum of prices so that I'm not wasting a lot of money. Because it's almost too expensive until I'm making a lot of money from brand deals on here, or unless I'm getting a lot of tips and people are sending me a lot and sending me a lot, showing me a lot of support, and I've got money coming in monthly that I can say, okay, I can set aside this much money to spend on buying and trying and reviewing and all that kind of stuff, or people are sending me things for free to try, which I would also, it's a goal. You know, since I'm having to pay for things with my own money, you know, I'm having to go the more affordable route. So anyway, let me know what you've had, any experiences you've had, and what your favorite products are, and I may you know, review them and give you my opinions. Okay, so as always, you know, if you like this video, don't forget to hit thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos. Don't forget to share this, you know, video with your friends who like beauty and style, or maybe somebody who just might need a smile. Okay, all right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.